What the hell is going on, beautiful people? What the hell? What the heck? Good morning to you. I hope y'all are all having a good day today. Listen, all right, listen, all right. As Logic Sphere always says, listen, everybody relax. Logic Sphere always says that. I think that's a very appropriate thing to say right now. Everybody relax. I know we got a lot going on. Everybody just calm down, okay? We're going to go ahead and take things, and we're going to bring things down a level, okay? It's early in the morning. It's 10:50 in the morning. I just woke up an hour ago, and I'm coming to y'all, all right? We got a lot of stuff going on today. We got some interesting things to talk about. We're gonna be live again tonight, by the way, to talk about Michael B. Jordan and some other stuff. But I wanted to just come live to address a few things, and also to show y'all something that I found. Yo, this is straight gold. Check this out. This is a legit parole board hearing process. Now, it just ended. There's a guy coming up right now that we're gonna end up watching. Well, I don't know when exactly it's supposed to happen, but Terence Johnson's next, which is today. Then there's three. They already did 3 cases. They just did Darion Brown, and Darion Brown's case took like an hour. I was watching it. It was crazy. Yo, these cases are crazy, yo. So these cases are for parole, right? But while we're waiting for the parole cases to go down and everything, I'm just gonna update y'all and enlighten y'all on everything going down, right? So I was recently tagged in Sweet Life of Atari's video yet again. Sweet Life of Atari. Shout out to Sweet Life of Atari for tagging me. And she brought up the Rosa video, the black femicide video. A lot of people are obviously talking about that right now. A lot of people are kind of figuring out what's going on, yada yada yada. So this is Sweet Life of Atari, who's covering that video there. You can check out her channel right there, Sweet Life of Atari. Atari, the video game system. Atari looks like she is a baddie. Is Atari a baddie, ladies and gentlemen? Can somebody let me know? Is Atari a baddie? She looks like a baddie. I'm gonna have to go ahead and click her picture here. Let's try and figure out who Atari is. Okay, Faith Factor's got a lot going on as well. Let me just update y'all because this is crazy right now. I put something on my community tab. Good morning. Do 25 jumping jacks if you're just now joining the live stream. Let's get the blood flowing. Let's get the capillaries and the arteries going. Let's get our tiptoeing, right? I really can't box. I look like trash, but I can box. But let's get our things. Let's go ahead and cover everything, okay? I mean, this is just crazy. So apparently Sweet Life of Atari, she's just a straight up drama channel or T channel. I don't want to say drama. Let me go ahead and boom myself right there. She's a T channel. And so as she covers the T, she speaks about, things that happen in our sector, yada, yada, yada. And it's just gotten really crazy at this point. I mean, I guess the doxing has continued. I didn't know. Faith Factor and Commendable K are a couple now. Faith Factor and Commendable K. If you don't know who Faith Factor or Commendable K is, Commendable K was on my YouTube channel. A while ago. And I think he has another channel by the name of Reaction Satisfaction. This is him right here, Reaction Satisfaction. He just did a video with Faith Factor, and they do videos together. This is a 7-hour live stream that they did, in which, I think they're talking about some kind of situations and drama that they went through and yada, yada, yada. Faith has a new series that she's doing called A Better Class of Woman. And then this series that she's doing, she's essentially throwing shade at a lot of the content creators, the women that are in this space, because of whatever maybe family situations they have, because of whatever else is going on. A Better Class of Woman is Faith Factor's version of, okay, these are the women that we need to be having leading these movements. These are the women that actually have real life, offline, real life success stories and relationship stories. And I think that Faith and Commendable K are, obviously using what I believe to be is their engagement. Right? This is the first YouTube sector space engagement that we've actually had. Faith Factor and Commendable K, 2 content creators that are now engaged. They have been public with their relationship for some time now, and they even go on and do live streams together. Right? And so A Better Class of Woman is Faith Factor's response to a lot of the women in this space who who are just, who we have, things that we talk about with, right? I'm going to talk about the black femicide thing in a little bit, but let me just first say that black femicide, all things considered, was a straight up class act. All right. Black femicide was a straight up class act. All right. I just want to say that all things considered, black femicide is a straight class act. Now, regardless of whether or not you agree with somebody's intentions, regardless of whether or not you agree with who they are or what they represent, yada, yada, yada. As far as respect levels go, I 100% agree with, and I'm going to talk about that in a second because I got to keep talking about the faith factor thing for a second. Oh, by the way, if you're just not joining, we're going to be talking about the probationary hearings in 1 second. We're waiting right now for the new probationary hearings to continue to go. It looks like we might have some kind of action. There's somebody sitting in a courtroom right now. If you can see him, he's at the top right. He's at the top right. I believe this is going to be the next one. I believe this is Terence Johnson. Terence Johnson's hearing will start in a second. Before we get to the hearings, we're just covering some of the drama that we're talking about here. So we'll be on in 1 second. Also, when this does start, you're going to hear some volume or just some audible volume. That's going to be the judges and everybody talking, right? So when that does start. Having said that, I just want to mention that about the black femicide situation. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But she's a class act, and I know a lot of y'all are very upset at me for the video that I made. A lot of y'all are very upset for a lot of the things in regards to the video and things of that nature. But you need to understand that, this is YouTube, right? YouTube does definitely have some real life consequences for sure, right? But there are certain things that we do on YouTube as content creators to ensure that we do have certain views, things of that nature. However, I'm not just a person that does videos for views and clicks. If I say something, then I believe it. So if you have a problem with what I say and what I believe, that's all right. That's fine and dandy. However, she came onto the platform, gave her stance. Some of y'all say I was disrespectful. I was this, I was that. It's kind of difficult with YouTube and with y'all because there's really no winning to some extent. With the Space Ghost Perp situation, I sit back and I don't say too much. I don't press people too hard. I don't do anything. People are upset that I don't press them too hard. A lot of people are questioning the black femicide situation, which is why I decided to make the video. I decided to question a bit harder and be more direct with the questions, but now I'm disrespectful. So you really can't win to some extent, and I get that, and I'm fine with that. I just wanted to say and pay black femicide her roses as far as her being respectable, as far as her being direct in her answers. I don't really agree with some of the answers, to be quite frank and honest with you still, or maybe I just don't understand. I really don't know the entire situation still, but having said that, I'd be wrong in not saying that she has been anything
Our
other than a
next
class act.
case is going to be Mr. Terence Johnson.
I'm going to go ahead and pause this right now. Terence Johnson is getting ready to go up for parole. While we're doing this and while we're listening to Terence Johnson get ready to go for parole, I'm going to finish up my statement that I was saying a few minutes ago. Class act, I hope that the march goes down. I really do. And if there's anything I can do to help support the march, then that's exactly what I will do. And that's what I said before. That's what I'll continue to say. And I do hope that this march can turn into something that can be an international campaign for a new hashtag, Protect Black Women, to start to really take hold of the streets of the nation, because that's the hashtag that we need to start promoting. Let's go ahead and listen to what's going on with Mr. Johnson.
Date of birth, February the 7th of 2001. He's classified as a second felony offender. He has an adjusted good time date of May 8th of 2023 and a full term date of November the 20th of 2033. He is currently serving a 15-year sentence for illegal possession of stolen things.
I just want to say something.
Simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling. Simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling.
The burglary of a inhabited dwelling. He's got multiples.
As a result of new offenses. His sentencing dates were August the 11th of 2020. Is all that accurate, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, your case was assigned to me, so I'll begin to conduct our interview. If you would please answer my questions, I would certainly appreciate it. Mr. Johnson, you are 21 years old, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been in prison on these charges?
2 years and 5 months.
21.
Okay.
21 with
now, prior to this
home invasion.
Serving time on this charge, have you ever been in prison before?
Yes, sir.
How long were you in prison the last time?
11 months.
11 months. Louisiana, the boot, as we call Louisiana.
You got for 21
I'm not gonna lie. He already lost. Did you see the? Did y'all hear that long pause? Sorry, bro. You done.
20 plus burglaries, all sorts of things. Tell me what's going on with
20 plus burglaries.
what's going on with you when you committed all of these burglaries.
Let me just mention one thing really quickly, black gentlemen, black guys, and I just want y'all. And we talked about this a while ago. Okay, I just want you to notice the two women that are by this white guy's side. All right, just keep that in mind as you go forward with your rhetoric on how horrible black women are in mass. It will have an effect on you. All right.
Try to get your GED.
Yes, sir. While I went in Stephen Hall program.
Okay. Did you get your GED when you were in Stephen Hall program?
No, sir.
What all do you need to do to get your GED?
I got 10. I gotta get back in class.
Okay. And how long would that take for you to get back in class and to get your GED?
They're gonna take, cause you got a class, you got a step, so it's gonna take like 6 months, like to take a test.
Now you came to jail, you're 2 years and 5 months. What were you, 18 when you came to prison?
Yes, sir.
Now you served 11 months prior to that. How old were you when you first went to prison?
I was 17-year-old.
There's not much going on with this.
Tell me about your drug use.
I drank alcohol. I'm about marijuana, and
He's honest.
that's it. That's the only drugs I do.
Okay. How long did you drink alcohol? When did you start drinking alcohol?
I was like 14. But I've been smoking marijuana since I was like 11.
Besides marijuana, have you ever tried anything else?
I took pills before.
What kind of pills?
Percocets.
How long did you take Percocets?
When I was like 17, that was my first time when I took Percocets.
How long did you take them after that?
And that when I started until 9.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Like till 9, when I came to jail.
Yeah. So it's not just marijuana, you also took Percocet.
Yes, sir.
Anything besides pills and marijuana? You ever try cocaine?
No, sir.
Ever try heroin?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Tell me what you learned in Steve Hoyle.
Like I learned that I'm an addict, and I learned from my actions that I ain't just hurt myself, I hurt my family, my community, and my.
You know, I don't know. This guy, he's kind of growing on me. This kid's growing on me, man.
Marijuana and alcohol.
Attending AA meetings, getting a job, and stay away from niggas.
He's growing on Miss Pearl Wise in the corner. Did you see that? Did you see that agreement right there? He's growing on Miss Pearl.
Now tell me where you're going to be living if you get a nurse.
Miss Pearl got her cell phone out.
Trouble at?
From him in Louisiana.
Where?
From him in Louisiana.
Hammond, Louisiana. Okay, now who lives in Bogalusa that you'll be living with?
My father.
Okay, he's gonna be staying with his dad.
And why were you living in Hammond?
That's why I was living there with my daddy and my mama. Since my mama passed, my daddy moved to Bogalusa to get me out of trouble.
Okay. So in Bogalusa, where are all your friends at that you were doing drugs with? Where are they at?
In him in Louisiana.
Where are all your friends that you were doing all these burglaries with? Where are they at?
In him in Louisiana.
Now, what's your plan to work? I mean, you've indicated you want to do pipe fitting, you want to do welding, you want to do a lot of things. What is your experience to be able to do all of these things?
Like going to school and learning how to be a construction worker.
Okay. Tell me what's your plan to go to school? Tell me, you're working on your GED right now.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
I assume that you want to continue to finish your GED.
Yes, sir.
You can do that while you work, okay?
Yes, sir.
So what kind of work, how do you plan on becoming a pipe fitter or becoming a welder? What do you have in motion that you'll be able to do that? If you were to get out in 2 weeks, how would you learn the pipe fitting trade or the welding trade?
I would go to youth build. They'll teach you about welding.
You'd go where?
The youth build.
What is youth build?
That like you get your GED there. You learn how to get your driver's license there too.
And who runs that? Do you know?
No, sir.
How did you learn about that?
Because a friend told me.
Okay. And is it a program that you've looked into? Do you know how to register? Do you know how to enroll in the program?
Yes, sir. I know how to get in.
So what he's looking for right now, just to give you, let's see if Miss Pro is going to say something. Hang on. What they're looking for right now is to see if he's taking initiative or proactive responsibility or action to actually make his life better once he is granted parole. They're trying to see if he's planning on accepting parole. They're trying to see if he's planning on actually acting after he gets parole, right? They want to see what's your plan, right? But if you don't have a plan, they're not going to give you parole.
I took living in balance, and I took
what did you learn in living in balance?
To stop and think before I do stuff. Don't just think of my first reaction. You gotta think through it before you do stuff.
Now, what about MRT?
I'm not sure if he's on any kind of drugs or any kind of medications or anything like that, but it seems like he's got almost this drug-like personality, right? This drug-like stupefied, stupor kind of type of deal, right? Now, that could be the drugs. It could be just him and his mental, stuntedness or the lack of mental development. It could be a lot of things. It could just be him as a personality. It could be that he's smart enough to where he understands that he needs to play a certain position and play a certain role, right? So, I mean, he could be a straight-up genius. We don't know, but just judging on the outside, judging just from this few seconds that we've seen him respond and the shortness of his responses, right? The shortness of his train of thought. It shows that either there's some mental issues going on here, a severe lack of education, right? Or maybe just a bit of a disconnect as far as wanting to take importance in his parole hearing. Well, it's got to be something. We'll see.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the MAT, the medical assisting treatment. You've indicated,
but he seems sincere,
receiving Vivitrol. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that and why.
Cause I don't want to relapse, so I'm gonna take the shot and make sure I don't relapse.
And what else? You mentioned you're gonna do
anything. He's got Miss Pearl on his side. Miss Pearl's nodding. Miss Pearl's saying, "Yep, yes." Shout out to Miss Pearl, man. Listen, you in this dude's position. Listen, you in this dude's position getting up for parole and you see a Miss Pearl on the board? Hey. Hey. Yo, Miss Pearl. Shout out to all the Miss Pearls in the world. That's the position that Uppity Unicorn takes. And I think that's what she said on her last live stream. Uppity Unicorn hates me now, by the way, even though we defended Uppity. Uppity, I think she made a video exposing me. So shout out to Uppity Unicorn for exposing me. I don't know what it is about me helping people, and then those people that I help end up go on to try and expose me. But let that be a lesson to you YouTubers, okay? Nobody's safe. Nobody.
Can work with Miss Gay to see if we can get him over to Webster or in a VOTEC program if you would like.
Okay. Are you familiar with Youth Build, Ms. Culpepper?
No, sir, but I do know LRS can help him on the street with jobs and training and high set, and there should be an LRS office.
Man, Miss Pearl's she's doing everything she can, man. Tell you what, it's good to have your people in the courtroom. It's good to have your people in the courtroom, man.
Services. We use it a lot of.
Y'all be talking terrible about black women. I'm telling you. Hey, now maybe this is it could be interpreted to a lot of different things. You might agree with it, you might not agree with it, but hey.
Order. They are identified as having a disability. So we have a really close connection with the office up here, and all they have to do is fill out a release form, and we fax them their treatment plan, and that qualifies them for job services, educational services. They'll buy their tools. So that is one thing we use a lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll drop a bomb. Look, it's
Who
looking.
all lives in the house with your dad?
It's looking good.
This is my dad and his new girlfriend.
Okay. Any other brothers and sisters there?
No, sir.
Mr. Johnson,
If you don't know, he's got a lot of charges for home invasion, burglary, y'all. He's 21 years old. If you're just now joining, I believe he has over 20 different charges or arrests, right? 20 or 21 years old.
tell me how you changed from the young man who was doing drugs and who was out burglarizing cars. Tell me how you've changed and what's changed in you.
I changed because I got nieces and nephews that look up to me, and I don't want to show them that like going back out there doing wrong. I want to show them like positive thing like you could do with your life. Cause I was 18 when I went to jail, and I'm 21. And I want to show them like you could change, you could do good. You ain't gotta go burglarize and steal and hang around with the negative peer group. So I want to show them.
Now, I know you've done a lot with Steve Hoyle. Steve Hoyle has a lot of components. Are there any other programs that you've taken while you've been in prison?
No, sir, this the only one.
Steve Hoyle program.
Yes,
And
sir.
when did you complete that program? Last month?
No, in April the 8th.
April, okay. This is June. You're right. So 2 months ago.
Yes, sir.
I want to point something out right there. He got his dating correct right there, right? He and the Tony Marabella, it looks like the probationary leader, parole board leader right there, had to correct himself. That's a very, very, very good sign, and that's a very good thing to be able to do if you are our gentleman and Mr. Johnson right here, right? It shows that you are on top of your dates. You're on top of your ish. You're on top of your game. Your mind isn't slacking in that aspect. And he's like, oh, he knew when he was actually at this little thing. Okay, let's go back to it.
After your mom died, then what? As far as your living situation?
His mom died. Look at his face right now, Jesus.
Oh, I went in jail when she died.
You were in jail when she died?
Yes, ma'am.
That one hurt him.
Before she passed.
We were living in Hammond, Louisiana.
And then your dad moved to Bogalusa after
She passed.
I understand. What kind of relationship do you have with your dad?
We got a good bond with each other. And I want to show him too, like I could do better.
Have you always been close with your dad?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever had any contact with or over the phone or any way with his new girlfriend?
And I be talking to her when I be calling my dad, and she want to meet me and she want to get to know me.
Okay. And the reason I ask is sometimes,
This Pearl's so sweet.
you know, if your dad has someone else in his life right now, sometimes there can be frictions that come up between,
Good point.
you know,
The girlfriend, the wife,
you and the new girlfriend.
Somebody that's
and that
not
might
actually-
cause frictions
somebody that's not
between
actually
you and
blood relative of the blood relative, right? It can cause friction between the children.
I understand that you feel people got to move on with their life, and I totally understand that. I told them that too, and I'm proud of her. If she make it happen, I'm happy.
It's a good answer.
That's great for you to say that.
It's a good answer.
Hopefully, she'll be welcoming of you and won't have any problems with you living with him.
That's a
Has
really
she
good
told
answer.
you that she wants you to come and live with him?
Yes, man. She wanted to meet me, and she said I sound like a good young man.
He seems happy by that.
Well, you do. Also, you do sound like a good young man who made some choices, but that didn't define you for the rest of your life. So I enjoyed this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to take a pause right there. I think Ms. Pearl is going to take some time to ask a couple of questions. And she is asking some questions right now. Ms. Pearl, I'm sure I can assure you, her questions are going to be a lot easier than both of their questions because Ms. Pearl has given us some pretty substantial indications and revelations that she is supporting this young man here. So we're going to go back and listen to some of the answers, but I do want to kind of give my input on what I think this guy is or who I think he is, and whether or not he has a good heart or not. And it's really hard to tell, y'all, because the thing with humans and with people is that anybody is capable of anything under the right circumstances under any given time. All right. Anybody's capable of anything under the right circumstances under any given time. And so it's hard for in a 1 hour certain, situation or a 1 hour questioning of somebody from doing things for years and years and years and decades on end, and the type of person that he's developed after 21 years, it's hard to figure out whether or not this person will ever have the ability or has the propensity still to actually go forward and do something harmful or insidious in the way that they've done in the past to land them there, right? It's very hard to do. So a parole board meeting is a wild concept, because essentially what you have is 1 hour, 60 minutes to fight for your life in front of a group of people who are essentially determining of whether your life, the rest of it, is needed in society. It's huge, 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 huge moment, man.
Opposed to your early release, but there's one victim in particular was unopposed to your early release, and I just wanted you to know that. But they still want money back, but they were unopposed to your early release.
Yes, ma'am.
She just brought back that one victim was unopposed to his early release, but I think she said most of them were opposed to his early release. So she's trying to help him.
Trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Over. Even if they know you or they don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Trade. But be thinking about it. You're still a young man. You got a very bright future ahead of you. And they should not involve messing with anybody else's problem.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Culpepper, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you to give us your thoughts on Mr. Johnson, if you could, please.
Again, I think the fact that he is willing to do Vivitrol and he's stuck with that since I've last met with him.
He's got some support in the court, man. He's got some support in the courtroom, dude.
Trouble, and he's done everything that we've asked him to. So that's all I have to say.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, I do have another question. Where's your brother Kobe?
Kobe and Fluke. That's in Fluke, Louisiana.
Okay. Did he ever go to jail for these charges?
Yes, sir. He came to jail with me on the third time.
Now, is he out now?
Yes, sir.
How's he doing?
I ain't talked to him yet. Cause like when my mom passed, like all my brothers and sisters just split up. So I was really be talking to my dad.
Now, who does he live with in Fluke?
I think his girlfriend.
Is he older or younger than you?
He older than me.
How old is he about?
I want to say he about 31 or 30.
As far as you know, and you tell me you don't really know anything, he's still out. He hasn't been gotten back in any kind of trouble.
No, I don't know of.
You intend on staying away from him? It sounds like you and he got into some real trouble back then.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if he negative, I can't be around him. He ain't doing the right thing, I can't be around him.
It's a bomb. We'll drop a bomb.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Is there anything you'd like to say to the board before we vote?
Oh, geez. Here we
No,
go.
sir, thank y'all for having me here. It's an honor to be here.
Woo!
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Damn.
Mr. Johnson, since you were my case and I started the interview, I'll vote first. Mr. Johnson, you conducted yourself extremely well in this interview.
Oh, looks like he's getting
Very
parole.
impressed with the things that you had to say. Ms. Culpepper spoke very highly of you. I think you've got a good plan. You're only 21 years old. You just finished the Steve Farrell program, but you have continuously wanted to take the Vivitrol shot to make sure that you stay clean and sober when you get out. You also realize that AA is critical for you. You have law enforcement opposition. You do have some victim opposition. Some victims made no comment. Others are opposed to your getting out. The things that bother me a little bit is you have a high risk, mainly substance abuse is the issue. But I'm willing to take a chance on you. I think that you've learned a lot. You've been in jail for the last 2.5 years. You've done well while you've been in jail. You've taken the best program that we have to offer regarding substance abuse. So my vote today, based upon all of your hard work, based upon recommendations from Ms. Culpepper, based upon the fact that you have taken and completed without a hitch the Steve Hall program, and that you wish to continue with the recommendations of Steve Hall, that being the medical assisted treatment. My vote today is going to be to grant with the following conditions. Number one, that you report to LRS, which is the services that Ms. Culpepper indicated that will assist you in getting your GED. One of the conditions that I want to see is I want to see while you're on parole, and you'll be on parole for a while, that you get your GED, that you work.
Dude, he's going to be on parole for like 10 years, yo. It's going to be damn near impossible for him to do his parole, to be completely honest. Unless you are a legit changed, reformed criminal, which is very hard to do. And I'm not saying it's not hard to reform. I'm saying it's hard to not ever make a mistake, because we're humans. We all make mistakes, bro. You know?
You're a substance abuse treatment. So that was my vote. I'm only one of three, so we'll wait and see what everyone else does. Ms. Wise?
Mr. Johnson, I'll tell you, you're hard for me. It's really hard for me. I especially started, smoking marijuana at age 11. So
Yes,
you realize I've been doing this from 11 to 21, a few years back, and then.
But that's insane. I'm not gonna lie. That's not his fault. That's not his fault smoking at 11. That's just living in Blackistan. I know people that started smoking when they were 7. No joke.
All those eyes looking at you. But I do want to make sure that you partner with the probation officer.
Yes,
There's a lot of things you don't know. Ask.
Yes.
So my vote is a grant under the condition that's already been stated. You can do this. That's
Yes,
wishes.
Thank you very much.
Boy got parole.
Ms. Jackson?
All right.
I'll tell you something. Boy got home burglaries, home invasions, home everything, and got parole.
But you have demonstrated yourself to be totally different than what we would have expected from someone with your past. You've done very well. I commend you for completing Steve Hoyle. And you have a maturity in your thought process that goes beyond your age and your circumstances. I think you really do understand the situation. I think you really are committed to making a change. And so my vote today, likewise, would be grant, because of your completion of Stephen Hoyle and your positive comments from the staff. And so my vote today, grant the same conditions as Mr. Good things coming going forward.
Yes, thank y'all very much. It's an honor for y'all to say that.
Mr. Johnson, good luck to you. You have 3 votes to grant your parole, so good luck to you. We'll never see you again on this screen.
Yes, thank y'all.
You're welcome.
And that is it for Mr.
The
Johnson,
time is
ladies and gentlemen. That is
11:23.
it.
I believe we are finished at Bossier. Ms. Culpepper, thank you very much for all of your help. We'll be adjourned.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the cases that we have today. They're going to be done with the parole hearings at this point today. So what did you think? Do you think that he deserves parole? I'm going to go ahead and ask you in the chat right now. Do you think that he deserves parole? All right. Do you think he deserves parole after everything you heard here? Does he deserve parole? All right. Yes. Yes. 7 smoking. Absolutely. Yo, I know people, yo. Yeah, so the dude that started smoking at 7 is in federal prison right now, actually. He's in federal prison right now. Yeah, the smoking thing, I don't know what's up with that, but some people got started on that from an age that's just unfathomable. Sorry. That's so loud. That was the U.S. School of Law commencement 2022. Shout out to everybody that graduated from the School of Law. All right, those are all the lawyers that will be defending. Do we have any black? This is UW. Where's UW? Can somebody tell me where UW is? Is that University of is Washington? UW Washington? Yes, it is. I see Washington right there. All right. Do we have any black lawyers in Washington's crowd? Do we see any? We see any? I don't see none, man. All right. Well, either way, we're glad that the new lawyers are coming out of the University of Washington. Very happy. Congratulations. It's a beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. Hey, listen, it's a morning time, special time hangout. We got Self-Love Heals. We got Organic Black. It's good to see Organic Black again. Organic Black, I miss you. No Saint. Of course, my phone is vibrating with the camera, with my alarm on it, which I'm sure I can't turn off until, of course, So, hold on. There we go. Of course, you can't turn off your phone camera. There you go. You can donate to the channel if you'd like to help support the channel so we can get better equipment to have better live streams. So that doesn't happen anymore. But a lot of y'all don't believe in donating to channels anymore for whatever reason because you just don't want to. But don't worry. We're going to talk about all that in the future. And don't worry. That's going to play itself out as well. We're going to have to wait for a couple months before we start talking about donations, though, because we got to wait for some things to play out first in regards to donating to your favorite content creators or movement leaders. So we wait yet again. And in 3 months, I'll come back and we'll talk about donations. Until then, we cannot talk about it as much. Let's see. Oh, Diana Prince. Heck yeah. Organic Black says, I'll talk to you offline. Okay, Organic Black. I missed you. I was like, dang, I hope. Law student. Diana's a law student. Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's good to see Wheezy F in the building. We got Wheezy F in the building, y'all. Good morning to you, Wheezy F. I hope that you're zero black lawyers. I know. I hope that you're having a good morning today. Diana Prince is not only a mod in the chat, y'all, but she's a freaking law student. She's a freaking law student. It's amazing, y'all. Y'all are serious. Choose Life said, I feel bad for men like this. He was set up for failure, right? He was set up for failure. They given him a second chance, though. Choose Life said, I started young, too. It's ghetto culture. So Choose Life, what age did you start smoking? I want to know. What age did you start smoking? And it could be smoking anything. No Saint said 7 smoking. Wow. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's the youngest that I've met personally. 7 years old, and he was smoking, and he is in federal prison right now. I believe he's actually in federal prison for the same thing that this dude that we just got done watching was in federal prison for, which was home invasion burglary. So it's kind of bad. Organic Black says she's working and listening in the background. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's a beautiful afternoon, y'all. It was really hot yesterday. 11:27 right now in Texas. Make sure we like the stream. Really hot yesterday. And we get back to it. Texas Hood Therapy's in the building. Good to see Hood Therapy in the building. Texas is an interesting place because it gets so hot that you forget how hot it gets every year. And then when it gets back to that hotness, you forgot how hot it gets because it's unnatural. It's almost unnerving how hot it gets. Yo, I've told y'all about not having car AC or, car heating and conditioning in the summer. Man, it was so hot one time, y'all. I was on the side of the highway. I was stuck in a traffic jam. I was in a Pontiac Grand Prix, 2005, tan Pontiac Grand Prix. My car was overheating. My car was doing a whole bunch of stuff. There was no side access road to even get off over on the side, too. It was just concrete because Texas does construction for 1,000,000 years, and they don't ever fix anything. Let me put my Illuminati sound, right? It took like 7 years for the highways to be done here. It's ridiculous. People were complaining. People were like, why'd y'all even start the project? Just leave the highways the way they are next time. We'd rather take traffic jams of 2-lane highways than take a 1-lane traffic jam highway for 10 years, right? And so I was stuck in this traffic jam, and I thought I was about to die. It was so hot. You could see the little heat waves driving off of your roof and everything like that. Yo, I saw the heat waves all around me. It was like the whole world was the little mirage heat waves thing. I was like, man, it's so hot. I just got out of my car on the highway and just had to stand out in the middle of the highway. I had to. I just shut off my car, got out, stood in the middle of the highway. People started slowly passing me, and I just waved people right by. Yo, I had to wave people right by, man. I could not move. I wasn't about to get back into that car, and the car was already overheated, so I couldn't even really do anything to begin with. Man, I tell you what, I'd have been in some effed situations. I hate cursing. I shouldn't have cursed. I'd have been in some messed up situations, man. And I know y'all have been in some messed up situations too. That's why the drama and everything that happens right now, like, it bothers me. It definitely bothers me. But it'll only bother me for a couple of days. After that, it doesn't bother me because it's like, oh, dude, man, listen, hey, we're good. All right, we are good. I'm in this nice, big, heated, air-conditioned closet of mine talking to y'all. I got food in my belly, and I have, a little bit of money in my bank account. So, man, I'm good. I'm happy, and it's all good, right? It's all good. That's the good thing about the bad times, And I was talking about somebody about this morning. A lot of us think that we're not ever supposed to go through bad times. A lot of us think that we're not ever supposed to, and I use this when it comes down to even my YouTube career, right? When it comes down to me getting doxxed, or when it comes down to me dealing with unfairness. A lot of us think that life is supposed to only be good times, and that's just not the case. That's not the way that life is designed. That's not the way that we're designed. It's not supposed to be good all the time for us. Like, there are going to be times in life when life is brutally tough and brutally difficult, and it's supposed to be that way. And it's for one of the reasons that I effectively named earlier, just like me sitting on the highway in that roasting car in the middle of I-35 trying to go to Denton in a traffic jam, and me thinking that my life is like, it's like, what am I doing right now? That reason was so important because of me being able to sit in a 75 or a 65 degree AC cooled closet, and then to go hop in a nice vehicle, and then to get to the next place. Like, that makes me appreciate it so much more, right? And it's kind of like a person who is raised with the golden spoon in the mouth. They don't know how good they really have it. They don't know what homelessness really is like. They don't know how bad the world is until they actually get a little bit of a taste of it. But the problem is, if you don't get a taste of reality before it's too late, then you don't understand the concept of reality. You don't understand the concept of a lot of different severely important factors of life, right? Which is that life isn't fair. Things happen. People aren't good, a lot of them. So a lot of them are good, but a lot of them aren't good. And all of these different factors help you to be a better, more well-rounded person, right? So when things happen to you and bad things happen, you're able to get through them, right? Well, I was having a conversation with somebody this morning, and I had somebody else. I've been getting tons of emails of people reaching out to me saying, Truth, people are talking about you again, this and that, you're making you look bad, this and that. And I take this stand and I take this step on it, and whether or not you think I'm right or wrong, that's irrelevant. That's not really what I'm talking about right now. I'm trying to identify a concept or a life skill for you in this morning's live stream. I identify with it in the fact that there needs to be times and periods and moments in life where people question your authenticity, where people question who you are, where people don't trust you, where people do bad things to you, where people cheat on you, and where people cheat you, and where people run you into the dirt, and where people do that. You have to go through these times in life, and everybody needs to go through these times in life, because in your failures, you can either learn how to fail or you can learn how to not fail. It's up to you. Both of those things can be good things, but you can also learn a few other things. You can learn how to not win, right? And you can learn how to be comfortable accepting failure if you do decide, or not be comfortable, right? So a lot of different concepts can come from failure, but for the most part, the two resounding conflicts that stick out to me, or begrudgment, or accountability, or whatever you want to say, is you can learn how to not fail, right? Or you can keep on failing and just accept it, right? You can learn how to not fail, and you can learn how to fail, or you could keep on failing. So that's kind of what failure and bad things in life teaches us. Bad things in life teach you. Yeah, it is New Orleans, by the way. We call it the boot down here. Bad things in life teach you a few things. And when things happen and there's all kinds of stuff and drama. Now, granted, let me say this, okay? YouTube drama is, at this point, it's like entertainment for me. I'll be completely honest. Diana Prince says, where is his attorney? Dinah, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that. He could have had his GED a long time ago. He has nothing but time on his hand. Listen, they still decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. I thought the same thing, but to be honest with you, it sounded like it's a parole board hearing. I don't know if attorneys can actually be present at parole board hearings, because by that time he's already been sentenced. So I don't know if the attorney's like, well, listen, what's the point of having an attorney? Because all the facts that have been brought into court have either been admissed or, accepted or whatever it might be. And so everything's pretty much already up in the air at that point. So, but I don't know. But getting back to this, Diana, shout out to Diana for modding. Getting back to this entire YouTube debacle space or whatnot, like, okay, YouTube is trash. Right? YouTube is trash. And I say this all the time. I'm going to keep saying this. If you're going to come into this space and be a content creator, then you need to be prepared to hop into the biggest pile of I don't want to say reprobate, but like devolved subculture madness that you're gonna ever like pretty much see type of deal, right? Just get ready for that. It's crazy, right? But as far as the drama goes, like YouTube is a game of trying to make yourself look like you're the better person for the most part. It's a game of everybody trying to make it look like they're the best person for the job. They're the most qualified person, that they've had the past credentials, that they truly have the heart for whatever movement that they're speaking for, that they've done a lot of things in the past. And then the rest of it is content creators and people whose job is it to try and show that that person is lying. You know what I mean? I give myself the bomb there. That's pretty much what it's become at this point. It's like the Salem witch trials in YouTube. It's like the Salem witch trials in YouTube, where at this point we wake up every day and we're like, well, I wonder who's gonna be the next person. Who's gonna be the next person that's gonna be out on the chopping block? Every single person in our space has been out on the chopping block. There's not been a single content creator that's been in the Black woman empowerment, Black women protection, Black BW1, BWE, Manosphere, Black Manosphere, Grandmaster Troll area. Grandmaster Troll is probably like, why are you talking to me? Right? There's not been a single content creator that people haven't pointed out. None. Not a single one that people haven't pointed out and be like, oh, they're faking their fraud. None. Every single one of us have been identified as being fake and frauds. Me, Pink Pill, I'll just run through everybody. Uppity, Cynthia G, Nyla, Tanya TKO, Chrissy, Black Femicide, the Roger Report, Angry Man, Kevin Samuels, Coach Greg Adams, 21 Studios, Rolo Tomasi, Mike Dean, Fresh and Fit, Ayunde from Masculine Authentic Alphas. Let me show y'all this, all right? Let me show y'all this. We're going to talk about Authentic Alphas in a second, all right? We're going to talk about Ayunde. So there's this guy named Ayunde, right? There's a I'm dying. There's this guy named Ayunde. And he was rolling with the Fresh and Fits cats for a while. Get a load of this, right? This is crazy right here. Primetime entertainment right here, right? This guy's got a channel called Authentic Alphas. Now, on this channel, obviously, yes, he's alpha and he talks about dating. One of his videos is called The Lies of the Fresh and Fit Podcast. It has 171,000 views. All right? You're getting a little preview into one of the next live streams we're going to be doing. So, consider yourself lucky for catching this preview. I love you. So he did a podcast exposing Fresh and Fit around the same time. You know, we did a podcast exposing Fresh and Fit. Listen, this is one of the other dudes who gets exposed all the time, Andrew Tate. This Andrew Tate guy has reportedly slept with over 1,000 women. 1,000, he says. Yeah, Andrew Tate. This guy. All right? So he calls this stuff Tate speech. So Ayunde was going through with this video and, you know, trying to show people and tell people, you know, how bad Fresh and Fit were. You know, Fresh and Fit are just horrible people. He's got a background. Ayunde's a good-looking dude. He gets women, obviously, right? He can get women. He takes pictures of beautiful women. He's a swole guy. Dude swole in the gym. Good-looking dude. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's got a popping YouTube channel, right? Of course he's going to be a ladies guy. That's him with the Joker. Better Bachelor, ladies and gentlemen. That's him with the Joker. Better Bachelor. Hold on. Man, come on, man. All right. Joker right there. That white dude is Better Bachelor. Almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Or he's getting close. All right. He's the white manosphere comparison of Kevin Samuels. All right. I'll just show y'all Better Bachelor really quickly. Better Bachelor is also a manosphere content creator or a manosphere channel that he's got almost 500,000. He's at 500,000 subscribers, right? What the fuck are these? Amber gets wrecked. Johnny wins big. Women's advocacy group. You're joking. Independent women's team, and he does these videos where he talks about women from the white manosphere perspective.
I don't know, same business or same company. Then yeah, you could say, hey, women are getting paid less than men. Not fair. We need to do something about this. But here's the thing. women's soccer team, even though they won games and all this other stuff, wins a tenth of what the men's soccer team does. Women's soccer team learns a tenth of what the men's soccer team does. I don't know the actual stats on it because they're different. And the money that they receive is not based on winning games.
So you can kind of pretty much see right there that that's what their entire spiel is about, right? It's the same type of thing. It's anti-women. It's just, in this case, the white manosphere doesn't necessarily say white women. Now, we'll talk about that in the future as well, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting a free preview. If you like these free previews of the upcoming live streams, you don't have to donate. I understand that you don't believe in supporting monetarily your favorite content creators. I get that. You don't have to donate. You can like the stream if you'd like to, though. And I would require you to like the stream. If we know we're not going to be live streaming as much, we will still be live streaming, and the likes do help. I want to give a huge shout out to all the people who have stuck by the channel and have continued to contribute behind closed doors and behind the scenes to ensure that this channel can keep going. I want to thank all those people because there's been a couple people and they deserve a huge, huge, huge thanks and round of applause. I don't have an applause button, so for the sake of time, I'll have to fire you off a few rounds of 7.62 by 39 Kalashnikov. Now, let's get back to Allende, all right, because we completely missed what the bigger overall arching point was, okay? Now, Allende ended up having something exposed about him. Now, we already know on YouTube that you can be exposed, and everybody is exposed. But Allende apparently does dancing for gay parades, right? And so there's been a good amount of videos around going with him and dancing in gay parades and, you know, and taking part in gay parades and things of that nature. And a lot of people have been questioning him, and they have the videos of him dancing in the gay parades and things of that nature. And he goes on to say, hey, listen, you know, I did the dance, but
welcome back.
You know,
Authentic
I mean,
Alphas
listen,
again.
I'm not gay, right?
Go dance.
Now, he did an hour-long video on this subject, right?
Insane. Now that's taking place in gay clubs, it's taking place in swinger clubs, it's taking place in straight clubs. You can go to many clubs and you will see hot women dancing on the bar with some type of outfit.
All right. So if you want to go ahead and just get a heads up notice and you want to get a head start on the live stream we'll be doing coming up here in a little bit, that video is on the Authentic Alphas channel. Once again, you can type in Authentic Alphas on YouTube and go to that video. The name of it is Allende from Authentic Alphas is Gay, ? At Donovan Sharp. He tagged Donovan Sharp. Not sure if Donovan Sharp talked about it. But that's it there. I'm not going to play any of the footage right now because it'll definitely get content warning and age limit warninged, and I don't want to have any age limit warnings on this channel. But what do you think? Do you think that Allende is gay for dancing in gay parades? Let's go ahead and go to your poll answers really quickly. Does he deserve parole? Out of 18 votes, does he deserve parole? 56% of people said yes, he does deserve parole. That is the gentleman who is 21 years old, who had multiple home invasions and burglaries, things of that nature. But he did have a mature response. A mature response from the ladies on the panel. And I think that the gentleman, Mr. Max, I believe his name was, I forget his name already, said that he had some concerns. The early smoking weed, you know, had some concerns. The patterns, if you will. But he's willing to give him a chance, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not one to cast judgment, and I don't really believe in pointing fingers at somebody else because none of our hands are clean, right? Even though we all like to get onto YouTube and act like our hands are clean, none of our hands are clean, and we've all done things in life. So having said that, what would I have done? I'm not sure if I would have granted him parole, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if I would have. Chavis is in the building. Chavis, good morning, Truth, and everyone here at work. But I'll pop in here and there when I can. Hashtag, where is the coffee? I tell you what, Chavis, we're going to make that new hashtag. Where's the coffee? And it should be something to where it could be like a, you know, let's see. We'll have to figure out a movement right there. Where's the coffee? We might have to start that as a morning show name. I like that a lot, Chavis. Where's the coffee? Maybe even start selling some coffee mugs. Just tuning in, Self Love Heals says, who is this man? Well, that was a guy that we were watching, and if you want, you can rewind this live stream, and we'll definitely kind of, you know, recap that later on in the stream. But the judge sounds like Judge Joe Brown. Let's go to some later comments here. 1,000 women. Yeah, that's right. 1,000 women he claims to have slept with. Well, Jay Carp, he hasn't slept with 1,000 women. I'll be completely honest with you. He probably hasn't even slept with 100 women. But I will agree with you that the women that he has slept with, it would be absolutely vilely disgusting to even consider that as some sort of, you know, credit to, you know, one's self-identity. But that's how these guys, you know, think and see themselves. They see them having sex with women as, you know, like this crusade. It makes them better man. It makes them more masculine. Not all, but that's something that they do take pride in. And it's just kind of, it's weird, you know. It's really, really, really weird. And I'll show you. Let me see if we can find a clip of him saying, you know, or talking about that. I've slept with 1,000 women. I was like, it might be, you know, it might be 10,000. I think it's 10,000. Andrew Tate said. Let me see. I was just like, what? Like, who really believes this? This is crazy.
The way it is, and guess what?
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yep.
We can.
Now look at this guy. In what world does this guy have the ability to be a pickup artist? Apparently, he started a new. I don't know. That's not even his YouTube channel. There. He's got a YouTube channel, but that's not his YouTube channel right there. Let me see what he says.
So you're better off controlling your own game, manipulating your own.
And I'm gonna add something to that too.
Now I've watched a lot of them. These dudes are lame, man. These dudes are lame and they're weird. I'm weird too, but these dudes are definitely a little weird of weird. A little weird of weird. Yeah. So we'll see there. We'll see there. I'm not gonna even give Andrew Tate no damn play. Andrew Tate. Organic Black is sorry. Say heat will make the demons come out. No Saint says. You know, there's this thing that we talk about, or that's talked about in the black community, and it's called demon time. It's these things that these young black boys made up, and they often mention it, that they're on demon time. They're on demon time, and it's been somewhat of a moniker or a saying that it wasn't like popular, you know, in the black community, but it started becoming a little bit more popular. Oh, we're on demon time. We're on demon time. We're on demon time. And it's like a social media saying amongst the youths now. You know what I mean? It's like a social media saying amongst the kids. Hassan Campbell did a video on this actually. Check this out. And it said, "Stop claiming demonic energy. You're not on demon time." What is demon time? Demon time. Demon time. What is demon time? Demon time. Trippie Redd made a song called Demon Time. Demon time, demon time, demon time. Oh, I'm a demon time. Now these are some of the shorts. When you're on demon time,
let me ask you a question.
That pretty much means that you're antagonizing people, that you're antagonistic, and that you're messing with people, right?
People on Earth, and we had to reproduce to make the world continue. Would you reproduce with me?
I don't know what that video is, but that's just a weird
Let me ask you a question.
weird video right there.
Let me ask you.
That's kid. That sounds like kids being kids, but all right. I'm trying to find a good example of some demon time for us here. I don't think we have anybody publicly admitting that they're on demon time. Oh, okay. Here's a kid. There's a kid that was charged in Philly with 4 murders, and he called himself Amin Demon Time Hurst. That's Hurst right there. And check it out. His last name, Hurst, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. Hurst, lay him in the hearse? Man, some niggas are just made for it. Some niggas are made for it. Jesus. I'm sure he was MVPing niggas in the dirt. Jesus. Demon time. So when you're on demon time, for women and for men, it's different things. For women, demon time is referred to as sexuality. So if a woman's on demon time, in a video, she might be twerking. She might be like making out with another woman. She might be like making out with a complete stranger. She's doing something to push the boundaries of that social construct or environment. So she's now decided to take up the times of the demonic entities, right? And so she's in demon time. Not literally. I'm not saying you're twerking means you're demonically possessed. Of course not. I'm joking. But I think that the name that we gave to the time when we decide to act a bit more out of our body and a bit more mischievous, if you will, lascivious, is that the right word? Lascivious, if you will, I think the name demon time for that is very interesting, right? It's very interesting. Now I know words are words. Words are letters that humans made up to have a meaning. So it's not like the actual word demon is a bad word. And to be honest, demons aren't all bad, right? You have some demons that are just demons. They're not bad. They don't look to necessarily do harm to you. Just like not all ghosts are bad ghosts, believe it or not. I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, "What the hell, Jonathan? What are you talking about?" Jonathan, I know a lot of the Christians are gonna be like, "Jonathan, what are you talking about?" Not all ghosts are bad. That's something that I had to learn. And so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to call it that, but the connotation of what the word refers to, demon or demonic powers, or the demon time in that essence refers to the negative aspects of the connotation of the word demon, in which case it's just as bad as essentially, the word, or it's just as bad as all demons being bad. If we have a negative connotation to a word, so for instance, if divest has a negative connotation to it, it doesn't matter what the actual reality of divesting is. As soon as somebody hears the word divest, automatically their mind's going to be taken to that point because the negativity that's been attached to it. So that's what demon time is. Demon time is a negativity that's been attached. It's a word that's been attached to negative and more sexually charged out of body experiences, either more violent experiences if you're a young youth that's black male youth, or you're a gangbanger or something like that. If you're on demon time like that, then you're out to hurt people. You're out to do damage to people. You're on demon time. You're out to hunt people. You're out to do a drive-by. You're out to do a lick. It's demon time, right? That's what it is for the young youths. Older generation like us, we don't necessarily know what it is as much, but Self-Love Teal says, I just prefer angel time, Jesus time, God time. Yo, that is hilarious, Self-Love Heals. Absolutely. Yeah, we prefer Jesus time. Gretchen says demon time? Question mark, exclamation mark. Yep. Diana Prince says, wow, play with demons and be looking stupid when the devil comes to collect. Let me tell y'all something. We have people, and there are obviously, and this is an age-old debate as far as we go, but this has started to become a more popular debate where the religion goes, right? Religion, the mystic arts, Christianity. And I had something broken down to me by someone who practices in Christianity, or who used to practice in Christianity, and who currently practices in mysticism. And this person had practiced in Christianity so much so to the point of them being a prominent position in church at one point, right? She was very high in Christianity and then left the church after things happened. So she explained to me that rituals are done in church as well. For instance, when we reach our hands towards somebody to pray for them, right? That is a ritualistic type of thing, right? When we pray, we get on our hands and our knees and we bow down to a cross, which can be interpreted as an idol in some loose terms or characteristics. We bow down to, if you're a Catholic, to Mother Mary, right? We might bow down to, if you're, an ancestral type of belief or an ADOS type of identifying centric type of person. We bow down to maybe the shrines that we have for our ancestors, and we bow down for those types of things, right? And so she explained it to me, and I thought it was so interestingly fascinating. I said, well, you know what? That's kind of true. That is kind of true. Maybe there is some spirituality, mysticism, demonicism, if you will. No, it's angelic. We classify Christianity as angelic. It's not demonic. Maybe there is some ritualistic things, and I accept that, right? And so she continued talking about it. And I think the biggest distinguishing difference between doing a ritual in Christianity and then doing a ritual or conjuring something in the black arts or mysticism is intention, right? Is intention. And I think that, and I'm not saying Christians are perfect, because they're definitely not. Christians are effed up too. And they use Christianity just like your favorite content creator uses their mantra or whatever, right? So it's the intention. And what I've found is that you can have good people of both sides. You can have good people who practice dark arts, black arts, and you can have bad people who practice dark arts and black arts. You can have good people who claim to be Christian, and you have really bad people who claim to be Christian, like those Catholic priests and popes who have been sensually assaulting people for thousands of years now, right? Like, this is a normal thing at one point in time, allegedly, right? So it rains on the just and the unjust, and you're going to find good people in life and bad people in life. regardless of what you decide to label them as. Now, if somebody is walking around claiming that they're on demon time, more than likely you can assume that that person probably doesn't have your best interest at heart. So if somebody does proclaim nationally or internationally or publicly the beliefs of a certain mantra, which have been tied more to negative influences, then yes, I would tell you to kind of keep your eye on that person. So if somebody walks around and claims that they are I don't know, whatever, like an evil, demonic type of person, then yeah. Or if they claim that they're a demon, then yeah, they might be on the more evil side of it. But I'd be remiss to not say that there aren't rituals that happen in all versions of religion, right? And her argument was, what makes your rituals any better than my rituals? Well, it's a good question. That's a good question. What does make my rituals better? Well, I was told that my rituals, the Christianity rituals that I was raised with, were the right ones. And so that is my reasoning. And I don't have much reasoning past that, to be quite frank and honest with you, other than I trust the words that were told to me. Just like our young gentleman right here trusted the people who got him into smoking weed at the age of 11. The guy that we just got done watching the parole hearing on, Mr. Johnson, who was granted parole, right? Your circumstances and situations do have a large effect into you determining what is quote unquote right or wrong. So morality, to some extent, to some essence, is skewed based off of the communal values. And in this case here, we've driven spirituality as far as a community or communal values in America all out. At this point, we've driven well, I don't want to say spirituality, but maybe the stereotypical spirituality has been anything but driven out in America at this point. So now what you have is an influx or a rise in people trying to find their version of what our parents should have been telling us, or their version of what's right for them. And so you have this awakening, this enlightenment of spirituality happening inside of the black community, and particularly within black women. I'm starting to see a rise or an awakening in spirituality, right, of mysticism. I know Tanya TKO practices, Chrissy practices, allegedly. Maybe Chrissy doesn't. I know that Cynthia G does. Nyla Says does. I'm not sure if Women's Fear does. Women's Fear might. I don't know. I know that Up in Unicorn does. I know that there are lots of women who practice in the arts. I've talked to them specifically, right? And these women are good people. Some of the women, some of the ladies, even on this channel, right? And they're good people. I mean, they're good people, right? I wouldn't talk to them if they weren't. So we're going to talk about the spirituality thing. I just wanted to cover that for a second. We're hanging out right now. It's the morning time. We're at work. Self-Love Hills, that sounds like the end of days. Oh, Self-Love Hills. I don't think it's the end of days necessarily. I don't think it's the end of days. I think that it's just an interesting thing. It's something that we should talk about, It's interesting. And I think that whenever we don't understand something, how they always say, right? I'm going to say a corny movie line right here. When we don't understand something, we tend to hate it. No. But it's true, though. It's true. Whenever we don't understand something, we do tend to hate it. And especially when it comes to something like the term witchcraft, right? I mean, we hear witchcraft and it's like, bruh, keep that away from me. But if you were to know some of these people in real life, there'd be some of your best friends. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that all witches are evil? No, of course they're not evil. There are very good people who claim to be witches. There are. Does that mean that you could be hanging out with them one day and then all of a sudden the next thing you start levitating into the air and they don't know what's going on because they're a witch and they might have done something the day before? I don't think that as much either. I don't. But what I also don't want to happen is the same thing that I say so effectively clear, and that's to not turn into the same people that you abhor. And I love our channel because we have these conversations. We can have these types of things where we don't turn into those people, right? And we can point out how we feel, and everybody can feel a bit differently to some extent. And I like to try and have a community of people that can feel differently and come together. And that's why in a few weeks, once THT TV is going and we start talking about politics and everything, I want to be able to have a community where we can all come together. And if you don't believe in Trump, if you don't believe in Biden, that's fine, but you can at least come together and have that respect, right? And I want people to be more based or judged off of their actions, based off of instead of what they say or instead of what they represent. Because the problem is, a lot of the times we judge people based off of what they say too quickly. We judge people based off of what they preach too quickly, and they might not be as bad or as good of a person, but because of the label that they operate under, or the label that they operate in, we've already kind of thrown them to the wind, or we've already given them the passive judgment. That's what happened with Nyla and Taz. They were able to do so much damage, and Cynthia, for so long, because they were able to operate under this certain label. And when that happens, then we have issues. Self-Love Heals says, in the last of days, people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents. Mom, dad, I'm sorry. Arrogant, ungrateful, unholy, slanderous. Avoid such people. Avoid such people. The good old words of the book, the Bible. Some of the oldest texts there. Self-Love Heals, I appreciate the comment. And so I think that we tend to, and it's natural. It's definitely natural. It's definitely natural. I just try and be a person to where I can, I can learn as much as I can. I like to try and learn as much as I can and to figure out as much as I can, because I found that that's what makes me sharper. That's what, sharpens my brain. That's what gives me, things to talk about, to be quite frank and honest with you. And then that's what helps me put pieces of the puzzle of life together. It's going around trying to figure out what's going on. And I know that a big catalyst in that, and this is the last thing I'll say before we start to wrap this thing up, this morning hangout, we're going to be talking about, by the way, in the next live stream, we're going to have a guest on the live stream, and we're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan, all right? Before I go to Michael B. Jordan, I'm not going to say it. We're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan and the Lori Harvey situation. All right. I think it's going to be today. I got to hit up my guest. So I'm going to dip off for a second, go grab some food, probably come back in like 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to talk about this. If not 2 or 3 hours, we'll talk about it tonight because there's a lot to talk about. And on the guy side and the girl side, it's going to be interesting. But like I said before, the thing that helps me is just always wanting to learn and to try and figure out what's going on, because there's a lot that's going on, y'all, and none of us know everything. Regardless of what you think, how you feel, how smart you think you are, the smarter I get, the more people I talk to, the more I realize, just like the old adage says, that I don't know that much. And I really am not that smart. I was speaking to somebody the other day. Shout out to you, Jackson. Jackson's going to be on THT TV, and he's going to be a part of our political segment. Jackson and I have an interview getting ready to do, and it's going to be chopped up into a lot of political segments. I thought I was a smart person until I met Jackson. He's a Middle Eastern guy, and he is smart, man. This dude's a genius, man. He's a political scientist or a political Scientologist, and he doesn't do it for a living. He has a normal, rudimentary job. But when I met him and we started talking, I could immediately tell, like, this dude is head and shoulders above me. And I don't meet many people that are head and shoulders above me. I'll meet every once in a while somebody that's smarter than me, like some of our mods and some of our channel members who are definitely and who are in the building right now. I can tell you right now, Self-Love Heals is definitely, smarter than me. All right. Organic Black, she's smarter than me, right? Now, I might be a little bit more witty in some of their aspects, but by and large, their IQs are higher than my IQs. And so this guy, the second he opened his mouth, I was like, whoa, this is an IQ I'm talking to. This is a brain. And he started breaking everything down of how, Nixon's 1983 defunding of mental, institutions has to do with the Republican Party being tied to the 2009 something. And he's forming all these connections like it's like a series of Jeopardy questions or something. It's wild. I'm like, whoa, this dude's a genius. When you hear an actual genius speak, I don't know if any of y'all have ever met a genius, but when you hear an actual genius, somebody with an IQ of 140 or 120 or whatever the genius level IQ is, it's a really special thing, man. The brains that some people have, it's amazing. And so this dude just doesn't forget things. And he was explaining all these politics to me. I said, please, man, please, for the love of God, give me some time. I need you to be on a new show I have. And this and that. He said he would. So I have his number. And shout out to you, Jackson, if you're watching right now. I don't even know why I'm talking about Jackson. But I said that to say that, listen, not all of us know everything. And the more I go through life, the more I realize that I don't know everything. And so do all of us, everybody, some justice and some favor into going into situations with a little bit more of a want to learn or to understand. And in that doesn't admit or say that that person is right or wrong. It simply is you being compassionate enough to give that person leniency into something that you don't understand, right? Now they're going to be like, Jonathan, what are you talking about? You just got done talking about black femicide and stuff like that. Well, we're talking about two different concepts here, okay? So let's not be disingenuous with pointing out some fallacies in people and content creators and then being a completely maybe not understanding a non-compassionate person or maybe a non-humanal, is that a word? Humanal type of human to your fellow human because you don't understand their life choices. Now, you don't have to be nice to everybody. Women don't have to smile at all men when they walk past them in the streets. But so long as somebody hasn't physically done something to harm you in particular, right? There's not necessarily as much need to go out your way to harm or to hate them. Listen, this has been a True Seekers Live production. I can't wait to see you all in a few hours. Let's keep it respectful in the chat. We're going to end this thing on out. I'm not going to play the outro because this hasn't been an actual, True Seekers broadcast. This is just a hangout. However, in the future, when we do have the actual True Seekers broadcast, we'll have the intro and the outro. No outro today. I'll see you in a few hours. Donate if you love me. If you don't. Listen, I'm cutting people off left and right. I'm not going to lie. It just is what it is at this point. I stick with the people that stick with me. If you don't stick with me, I'll see you at the finish line of life. Whatever that means, interpret it how you will. I love you. I'll see you soon. Good afternoon. Not good night.